In China, the crisis in the property sector is also far from over. A new developer faces the risk of collapse. It's called Vanke. It's a major player in the real estate sector in China, and it's been sinking. Unable to pay its debt, the company owes some 34 billion yuan, that's almost $5 billion US dollars, and this debt must be repaid before June 2025, before June next year. But Vanke may not be able to do that. They may not have the cash to do it. So now Beijing is stepping in, extending support and propping up the company, which has taken many observers by surprise because in the past, China has let big developers fail. Since 2020, more than 50 developers in China have either defaulted or failed to make any debt payments, 50. Just last year, 10 Chinese developers missed debt payments. And in all these cases, Beijing just stood by and watched. But Vanke has been lucky. China has made arrangements to rescue it. It has issued orders to 12 banks. They've been instructed to provide financing to Vanke. The question is why? Why is this developer getting special treatment? Because it's not just about the developer anymore, it's also about China's economy. If Vanke too is allowed to fail, it will break the economy. Because this is China's second largest developer we are talking about. It started some 40 years ago by this man, Wang Shi. Now, Wang Shi is a leading figure in Chinese real estate. He is often called the godfather of the industry in China, and he is believed to be close to the state. In 2017, Vanke faced a hostile takeover bid. Guess who stepped up to rescue it? The government of Shanghai. They bought shares in Vanke, and they helped Wang Shi survive. Even today, Shanghai owns around a quarter of Vanke, making it the company's largest shareholder. These shares are owned by the Shenzhen Metro Group, which is a state-owned firm. So the new bailout should not come as a surprise. But there's more to this relationship. China needs Vanke as much as the company needs the state because China's economy is struggling, and they're betting on real estate to revive it. Earlier this month, the Chinese premier made some promises. Listen to this.
We need to optimize real estate policies, promote the stable and healthy development of the real estate market, coordinate the resolution of local debt risks, and stable development.
Vanke is instrumental to this plan. So far, this company has been able to weather the storm that engulfed China's real estate sector. When others were defaulting, Vanke was still ripe for investment. But towards the end of 2023, the company's fortunes changed. There was a drastic drop in sales. Last year, sales dropped by 10%. This year, the numbers have worsened. January saw a decline of 32%, which caused panic among Vanke investors. Since November 2023, their shares have lost close to 30% in value, and this panic spread to the creditors too. There were murmurs of a cash crunch. Reports like this one surfaced. It said Vanke is speaking to its creditors. It wants an extension on some debts. And this week, the crisis intensified when Moody's downgraded Vanke. It classified the company's debt as junk. That's how Vanke got into this mess. China may be betting on its revival, but this crisis has highlighted a fundamental problem with China and its real estate sector. The problem is that there is no demand for real estate. The market doesn't have enough buyers. And that's a big problem for companies like Vanke because real estate developers need a steady flow of cash to survive. They need to sell homes in order to keep building more. But that's not happening. There simply isn't enough cash coming in, so the company cannot finish its projects. Vanke has contract liabilities worth 408 billion yuan, which is around $56 billion. And what are contract liabilities? It's mostly money deposited by home buyers to buy an apartment, for instance, the money that you give a builder. But chances are this apartment is yet to be finished. It's not ready. So the home buyer's money is stuck. In the past, China would leave them in the lurch, but it can no longer afford to do so.
On the supply side, it is necessary to reform and improve the basic systems for development, financing, and sale of commercial property. The sale of existing houses should be promoted in a forceful and orderly way.
Well, that's how desperate China is. It wants to revive home sales, even if that means deploying what it calls forceful measures. The last thing China can afford is another failed developer.